Hello students, in this lecture we are going to complete exercise 6.2. Last time we have done the first 3 sums only. So today we are going to do the sums from 4 to 8, that is there. Okay, so the fourth sum here, the integral 2 to 5 root x upon root x plus root of 7 minus x dx. We are supposed to find the value of this particular integral. Now if you remember, in our previous lecture we had studied about certain properties of integrals. Okay, in that property 5 was this way, that is, if the integral is from a to b fx dx, then this can be written as the integral from a to b f of a plus b minus x dx. So this is the property that we are going to use over here as well. So in our sum, we are having I is equal to the integral 2 to 5 root x upon root x plus root of 7 minus x dx. Suppose this integral we number it as 1. Then by property 5, we can also write that I becomes equal to this way, that is, wherever x comes, we are going to write a plus b minus x. That means in this case 2 plus 5 minus x. Okay, so instead of x we are going to write 2 plus 5 minus x upon, again in the denominator the same thing, 2 plus 5 minus x in the first term, and in the second term root of 7 minus 2 plus 5 minus x, this way. So wherever x is there, we substitute x as 2 plus 5 minus x in this case. So as a result, we get it as this way, that is, in the numerator we are going to get 7 minus x, and in the denominator again the first term is 7 minus x, and in the second term 2 plus 5 is 7. So 7 minus 7 we get 0, and minus into minus of x we get x. So here it is just root x. Okay, so this is what we get as I. Suppose this statement is 2, so we number it as 2, and now we add 1 and 2. So adding 1 and 2, by adding 1 and 2, now we are getting this term, that is I plus I becomes 2I on the LHS, and the terms when we add them together, okay, over here the limits of integration have to be written. So everywhere it is 2 to 5 since we are doing definite integration. So here again the first term becomes the same thing, question, that is term, the statement 1 is written as the first term here, and similarly whatever we got as the second statement, we write it as the second term over here. Now what we observe? We observe that the denominator is same for both the terms. Isn't it? The denominator is same. So we bring them under the common denominator, and also we combine the integrals. So we get integral of 2 to 5 root of x plus root of 7 minus x upon root of x plus root of 7 minus x dx. This becomes again 2I on the LHS. Now we see that the numerator and the denominator being same, we can cancel them out, and thus we get the integral from 2 to 5 1 dx. You know that the solution for integral of 1 is x, and therefore we are going to get the answer as x from 2 to 5. Okay, now therefore we get the answer this way, that is 2I is equal to x from 2 to 5. So we put the upper limit first, so 5, and then the lower limit 5 minus 2, which becomes 3. And therefore our final answer comes out as I is equal to 3 upon 2, that is there. Okay, so study the sum properly and check whether you are understanding the sum out. Now let me show you one more sum of this type. We go on to the fifth question. Now in the fifth question, the integral is from 1 to 2 root x upon root of 3 minus x plus root x dx. Again, in the same thing, we use the property phi itself. So by property phi, in the exam time, you are expected to write the property in the brackets. Okay. So over here, we'll just state it as this way. That is, let I is equal to let I is equal to the given question, that is 1 to 2 root x upon root of 3 minus x plus root x. And we number it as the first statement. Now by property phi, by property phi, you state the property in the brackets in the exam time. I can also be written as this way, that is integral from 1 to 2 a plus b minus x, that is 1 plus 2 minus x. Wherever x is there, we write instead of x, we write it as 1 plus 2 minus x. Again here the same thing, 3 minus 1 plus 2 minus x plus again over here root of 1 plus 2 minus x. Okay, then you know that we are going to get this term, that is 1 to 2 in the integral 1 to 2. We are going to get over here 3 minus x, down 3 minus 3 becomes 0, and so we get root x minus into minus becomes plus, so root x plus root of 3 minus x. Again, these are second statement. So just like we did in the previous sum, we add 1 and 2. So adding 1 and 2, we get 2I is equal to integral 1 to 2. The question, which is in this case, let me see the question once again. The question is root x upon root of 3 minus x plus root x, and plus the second term, that is the second statement, 1 to 2, whatever we got in the previous previous step, that is and again we see that both are having the same denominator, so we combine them as a single integral. So 2I becomes integral 1 to 2 root of x plus root of 3 minus x upon again it gets cancelled. So by now you know the steps thoroughly. So we get 1 dx. These sums are going to be similar in each case. Only the values, the limits might differ, but then the procedure for doing these sums is very similar. So once you learn it and make it thorough, you are not likely to forget such sums actually. Okay. So when upon solving it, we are going to get x from 1 to 2, and then solving it further, we are going to get 2I is equal to the upper limit, that is 2 minus 1, which is 1, and therefore I becomes 1 upon 2. Okay. Now this was question number 5. Okay. Question number 6, you are going to do it as assignment. It is a very similar question, just like 4 and 5. You can do question number 6. So sixth sum number 6 is assignment for you. Once you understand the formula, these are extremely easy sums which you can easily do it actually. So now we move on to the next question, that is question number 7 over here. Okay. Now in question number 7, as you can see, the question which is given is integral 0 to 1 log of 1 upon x minus 1 dx. Over here, we are going to use property 6, that is it. Till now we used property 5. So over here we are going to try use property 6 actually. Okay, what is property 6? Property 6 is the integral 0 to a fx dx can be written as the integral 0 to a f of a minus x dx. So wherever x is there, we put the upper limit minus x, that is a minus x dx. Okay, this is our property 6. So in this case, our integral, the question given is 0 to 1 log of 1 upon x minus 1 dx. And by using property 1, that is property 6, so we get I is equal to the integral 0 to 1 log of wherever x is there, we put it as 1 minus x, because the upper limit is 1, and so wherever x is there, we put 1 minus x. So over here, okay, here one more step which can be done before we use property 6 is that we can modify this and write it as 0 to 1 log of, now we can equalize the denominator and write it as 1 minus x upon x. Okay, and this becomes our first statement. In this case, I is equal to this particular statement, which is our first statement. So here, by using property 6, we get log of 1 minus x. Wherever x is there, I told you, we'll put 1 minus x. Upon the denominator, x turns out as 1 minus x in this case. Okay, then now this can be modified this way, that is, it becomes 0 to 1, the integral of log of 1 and minus 1 goes away, 1 minus 1 we get 0, and minus into minus x we get plus x. So x upon 1 minus x dx. Okay, so this becomes our second statement. So first statement and second statement, just like we did in the previous sums, we are going to add both the terms. So adding 1 and 2. We are going to get I plus I, that is 2I on the LHS, is equal to integral 0 to 1. The first statement is log 1 minus x upon x. And the second statement is the integral 0 to 1 log of x upon 1 minus x dx. Okay. Then in the next step, what are we going to do? We are going to combine both the integrals. Okay. We are going to combine both the integrals because both of them have the same limit. And therefore, we can write them under one integral, single integral, this way. So we get integral 0 to 1 log of, now the denominator is not same, so obviously we cannot combine the fractions, and that is not allowed in log also, but we can do something else actually. So here plus log of x upon 1 minus x, okay, and combined, we have combined the integral, so we just write 1 dx over here. Now the property of logarithms, that is when two logs are added, we can combine them by multiplying. This way, this property is what we are going to use, that is log a plus log b can be written as log ab. Okay, so this is the property that we are going to use over here. So we combine both the logs. So we get log 0 to 1, that is integral 0 to 1 log of 1 minus x upon x into x upon 1 minus x. So we combined both the logs together. So here obviously these terms go away. Okay, so we are going to get 0 to 1 log 1, but log 1 is 0. Okay, log 1 is 0. So we are going to get the answer as 0 actually. So we get actually integral 0 to 1 0 dx, and the answer for which is 0. So thus we get 2i is equal to 0. Okay, therefore we get 2i is equal to 0, and therefore I is equal to 0 in this case. Okay, so that is how this particular sum is done. Since it is the only sum of its type, consider it as important and practice it properly. Then the next sum, that is the 8th question over here. The question is integral 0 to 1 x into 1 minus x raised to 5 dx. Again, here we are going to use property 6 in the beginning itself. Okay, property 6 is this way. I have told you already how to do property 6. Okay, just now in the 8th sum, the question is integral 0 to 1 x into 1 minus x raised to 5 dx. Here again we make use of property 6 itself, which is integral 0 to a fx dx, which can be written as integral 0 to a f of a minus x dx. What is the reason for using this property? Because we cannot solve this integral directly. Okay, 1 minus x raised to 5, expanding it is very difficult. You need not actually break your head with the formula for 1 minus x raised to 5, how to expand it. So you can directly use property 6 and simplify this up. So suppose this is our question, that is I is equal to integral 0 to 1 x into 1 minus x raised to 5 dx. Okay, then by property 6, we can write I as integral 0 to 1. Wherever x is there, we put 1 minus x because 1 is the upper limit. So 1 minus x. So we get over here 1 minus x into again 1 minus x dx. Okay. So thus the integral becomes this way. That is integral 0 to 1 minus x into, now 1 and minus 1 we can cancel, minus and minus x we get only x. Okay, raised to 5 actually. So x raised to 5 dx. Now what you observe is that you can open the bracket and you can multiply x raised to 5 with both these terms very easily. There is no particular formula which is required, isn't it? So you open the brackets, multiply this x raised to 5 with 1 and also with x. So that you get x raised to 5 minus x raised to 6 dx. Okay, and upon using the formula x raised to n, the integration of x raised to n, we know it very easily. So our integral, we get the answer in this way, that is x raised to 6 upon 6 minus x raised to 7 upon 7, because we know that the integration of x raised to n is x raised to n plus 1 upon n plus 1. So this is from 0 to 1. Now we put the upper limit for integration, which is 1 raised to 6 upon 6 minus 1 raised to again 7 upon 7 and minus 0 minus 0. As I told you, there is no need to put this minus 0 over here. It is understood that the second term is going to be 0. But yet, just to show that we know the sum, it is easier if you put it over there. Okay, it is better if you put it over there. Okay, so 1 upon 1 raised to 6 means 1. So 1 upon 6 minus 1 upon 7. Equalizing the denominator, we get 7 minus 6 upon 42. And so the answer turns out to be 1 upon 42. So thus with this answer, we complete exercise 6.2 that is there. So these are the sums which are to be done, which are to be made thorough by you. Since less number of sums are there, they carry more weightage of marks actually. Okay. Now in the next lecture, I am going to do miscellaneous exercise sums for you, which have come from this lesson. Okay. So more information on that in the next lecture. Keep practicing. Stay safe and healthy, students. Do subscribe and like the channel. Meet you in the next lecture now.